Coming up on Look Today, well, the Environmental Protection Agency held a public meeting last night in Saratoga Springs on PCB dredging of the Hudson River, and we were there. Plus, Ballston Spa students have earned first place for an art exhibit at the Saratoga County Fair. We were there for that. More on that coming up. And tomorrow, opening day of the track in Saratoga. I got some details all ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, I'm Jay Hood Jackson and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program I sit down with Sandy Arnold. Now she's a board member of the Pitney Meadows Community Farm and she's a vice chair of the Fire Feast fundraiser. We're joined by Dan Forbush. He's chair, community outreach person for the farm. They're here to talk about the upcoming Fire Feast that's happening August 1st. Plus I also sit down with Nico Altikin. Now he's director of the Lake George Film Festival. We're joined by Amanda Metzger. She's marketing director, Lake George Regional Chamber of Commerce, and they're here to talk about the upcoming Lake George Film Festival that's happening this weekend. Plus, we got your weather for the Tri-North counties, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, the Environmental Protection Agency held a public meeting in Saratoga Springs last night. Now, the meeting was on the Hudson River PCB cleanup project. Now, this is the EPA's second 5-year review report on PCB dredging in the upper Hudson River. This project, by the way, estimated at $1.7 billion. Well, as you can see, groups and local officials organized a demonstration outside the meeting, demanding that more work be done on the dredging project. Well, Mayor Joanne Yepsen of Saratoga and Assemblywoman Carrie Warner were in attendance, and we spoke to Carrie.
It's not acceptable that they are willing to let a minimum of 50 years pass before the river can be cleaned up, and actually they have sister agencies who have used the same data and come up with an analysis that is a century or more until the river is clean enough for people to eat fish more than once a week coming out of the river. It's just not acceptable.
Oh, we got some very powerful public officials going to bat for us. Also, we spoke to Andy Bicking. Now, he's Scenic Hudson Public Policy Director.
The environmental community, members of local government, not-for-profits, all kinds of organizations throughout the region have been very concerned about how the EPA is moving at this 5-year review. They have said that the Hudson River cleanup is not protected at this time, but will be in 53 years. And that is just an unacceptable position to us.
Wow. Okay, in other news, here's a different kind of story. Ballston Spa students have earned first place for an art exhibit at the Saratoga County Fair. Well, the Ballston Spa Central School District's display of student artwork and projects received the first place award in this year's Showcase of Schools at the Saratoga County Fair. Well, we spoke to Laurel Logan King. She's Assistant Superintendent of the Ballston Spa School District.
I think that we want to cultivate in students their interests, their passions, and be able to provide opportunities for them to showcase and highlight all of the talents that we have. We have very talented students. We'd like to develop programs around those talents so that they are able to look and expand upon their educational experience while here at Ballston Spa.
And with Laurel and Joe and their team, we also have exceptional teachers in Ballston Spa. And administrators. All right, switching from news to weather. Today brought more high temperatures, although expect chance of thunderstorms later on. Let's see how the rest of the week is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. We look at the first look weather forecast. We'll look at the nationwide map first. A few areas of high pressure control for much of the southeast, small portions of the Midwest. That cold front boundary tries to make its way through parts of the area. This is where the core of the heat and humidity are right now, with the excessive heat watches and warnings for parts of Nebraska, stretching through Iowa, Missouri, and portions of Arkansas, West Tennessee, and West Kentucky, even parts of Oklahoma and Louisiana and Mississippi. In the northeast, we have a stationary front boundary and a low pressure system making its way through parts of southeast Canada heading into upstate New York, and that means we're going to see some stormy weather for the overnight hours. Temperatures mainly in the lower 60s, upper 50s in a few spots. Here's our more local map. We'll see upper 50s and lower 60s area wide. 60 the overnight low here in Glens Falls, 58 in Bolton. We'll see, like I said, a few evening storms, otherwise mostly cloudy. For the day Friday, we'll see some patchy fog early, mostly sunny, 85. And our extended forecast, as we look at out the door, will be upper 60s to lower 70s under mostly sunny skies and mild. And then we'll see another dry day on Saturday, lower 80s for highs after a morning low of 61. Chances of storms return Sunday and Monday. High temps fall down somewhat to the mid to upper 70s, then lower 80s Monday, back to the upper 70s somewhat on Tuesday after a morning low of 61. Let's look at the first look weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Clarence Ponser. Now I will send it back to you, Jesse.
Well, you know, that forecast is holding through Saturday. Sunday doesn't look too good, but it's holding through Saturday. All right, back to the news. Well, tomorrow, guess what? Opening day of the track. Now, gates open 11 a.m. And the first race, post time, 1 p.m. Grandstand admission, by the way, is $5, and clubhouse is $8. Opening weekend will feature the racetrack's new Saratoga Family Zone. Now, this is a kids-friendly area located near the reserved seats box office. Now, we'll be at the track tomorrow. Andrew will be there with updates on what's happening on the first day of the exciting season. Well, up next, I sit down with Sandy Arnold. She's board member of Pitney Meadows Community Farm and vice chair of the Fire Feast fundraiser. It's a good interview, and that needs an explanation, by the way. And we're joined by Mr. Forbush. He's the chair and community outreach person for the farm. They're here to talk about the upcoming Fire Feast that's happening August 1st. Plus, I also sit down with Nico Altgen. Now, he's director of the Lake George Film Festival, and we're joined by Amanda Metzger. She's marketing director, Lake George Regional Chamber of Commerce. They're here to talk about the upcoming Lake George Film Festival, the first one. It's happening this weekend. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Then give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. I've got a couple of lookouts for tonight. First, Saratoga Fair. We've been out there a bunch this week so far. It's got a couple more days to go. It is a lot of fun. So we got some winners for tonight. That's Amanda Burke and James Noakes. You can win up to 4 tickets each. Show up here at the Saratoga studio tomorrow between 10 and 3. Now look, we got one more chance. If you want to win tickets, go to Facebook, like us, share us. We'll capture the name, and that makes you eligible. A chance to win 4 tickets, up to 4 tickets for the Saratoga Fair, which is running through this weekend in Ballston Spa. A great event for the family. Really, trust me on that one. Also, just a reminder, Che Malumbo is at SPAC. So if you catch an early broadcast tonight, get over there. They're doing all kinds of things. SPAC is explosive this summer, but this particular event is a real lawn event. Lawn tickets are inexpensive. You go there, dance around. This event is really something. I defy anybody to sit still while they're performing. I told the president of SPAC today, I said, make sure you turn it up. Okay, last but not least, I had an Alice's Moment restaurant here in Saratoga. Now, Alice's Restaurant, by the way, you're going to have to look that up if you don't know what I'm talking about, but for those of you who do know, you'll understand what I'm saying. I'm having a bowl of soup there at Uncommon Ground today, and here comes this meter maid. And she waddles over to this white Mercedes, stares at it, something's wrong, probably parking in a loading zone. To me, my generation, that's a 5-minute thing. Write the ticket, and off you go. 45 minutes later, she's still taking photos of the car, front, rear, side, everything else. Decides something's wrong. Registration, calls for backup. In come the police cars, they're blocking Broadway. In comes a tow truck, and they tow the car away. Taxpayer money at its finest. Tonight on Look TV, sold call-in auction program, great estate jewelry and coins. And tune in tomorrow night for the stories that matter to you. Be careful where you park on Broadway. Good night, everyone.